For example, 1 mole glucose. So glucose is non-volatile, non-electrolyte solute, right? If it is dissolved in 1 kg of water, 1 mole solute dissolved in 1 kg of water, its concentration is 1 mole. So, elevation in boiling point of the solution is Kb, right? So, Kb for water is 0.514 Kelvin kg per mole. So, therefore, Tb minus Tb naught is equal to 0.514. So, therefore, Tb boiling point of the solution is Tb naught plus 0.514. So, it is 100.514 degrees Celsius. Suppose if you use the same, suppose if molecular weight of glucose is not known to you, then see delta Tb is equal to Kb into number of moles of solute by weight of solvent in kg. So it is 0.514 into number of moles, that is weight 180, molecular weight of the solute 1000 by 1000. So you will get molecular weight of the solute as 180. So like this we can calculate the molecular weight of solute, molecular weight of the unknown solute. Just I gave one example. Now just see one more example. Listen carefully, this is most important. See, 1 mole NaCl, 1 mole NaCl, it is 58.5 grams NaCl, and that is dissolved in 1 kg water. So therefore, concentration of the solution is 1 molar. Is it clear? Now, suppose elevation in boiling point of this solution is equal to Kb into m, which is equal to delta Tb is equal to Kb. Right? See, here you dissolve 58.5 grams NaCl, that is 1 mole NaCl. This is dissolved in polar solvent, that is water. So, in water, NaCl ionized as Na plus plus Cl minus. So you dissolved 1 mole NaCl particles only, but after complete dissociation, the total number of particles present in the solution, 1 mole Na plus 1 mole Cl minus, total 2 mole ions are particles present in the solution. Clear? And most important, colligative properties depend only on the number of moles of particles in the solution. So here delta TB equal to Kb, but here we get delta TB is equal to 2 Kb because number of particles present in the solution are 2 moles. Because total number of particles present in the solution are 2 moles. So therefore we will get delta TB equal to 2 Kb. So which means that delta TB equal to 2 into 0.514. It is 1.028. So TB is equal to TB naught. TB minus TB naught is equal to 1.028. So TB is equal to 100 TB naught, 1.028. So 101.028 degrees Celsius. This is the actual boiling point of NaCl solution. If 1 mole NaCl is dissolved in 1 kg water. Now, for example, if you use this boiling point, using this boiling point or colligative property to determine the molecular weight of NaCl. Let us suppose that we don't know the molecular weight of NaCl or unknown solute. It is unknown solute. See, delta TB value is 1.028, Kb value 0.514, weight of the solute 58.5. We don't know the molecular weight of the solute, and weight of the solvent 1 kg. So therefore, molecular weight of the solute is 58.5 to 29.25. So this is the molecular weight of the solute obtained from colligative property. And actually the formula weight of NaCl is 58.5. But from colligative property we got the molecular weight as 29.25. So this molecular weight is called observed molecular weight. Observed molecular weight or experimentally determined molecular weight, or you can say abnormal molecular weight. Observed molecular weight, experimentally determined molecular weight, abnormal molecular weight. And this colligative property obtained is called observed colligative property or experimentally determined colligative property or abnormal colligative property. Okay. So if any solute, if it undergoes either association or dissociation the number of particles will change. If number of particles actually dissolved is not same as number of particles present in the solution, then we will get abnormal colligative property and we will get abnormal molecular weight. Clear? So we will not get the real actual molecular weight of the solute. Right? See, if 1 mole solute is dissolved in 1 kg of water, 1 mole particles only present in the solution if solute is non-volatile solute and a solute is non-electrolyte. So, if solute is non-volatile, non-electrolyte solute, we will get normal colligative property. We will get normal molecular weight, actual molecular weight. If number of particles of solute present in the solution is not same as number of particles actually dissolved in water or in any solvent, then we will get abnormal molecular weight. This is due to solute may undergo association or dissociation. See, for example, if solute dissociates in the solution, then we will get more number of particles in the solution than actually dissolved. If number of particles in solution increases, colligative property increases. Just I gave one example. So, if solute dissociates, particles in the solution increase. If particles in the solution increase, colligative property increase. If colligative property increases, colligative property and molecular weights are inversely related. So, if colligative property increases, molecular weight of the solute decreases, which means that the obtained molecular weight, the calculated means molecular weight obtained from the experimental results will be less than actual molecular weight. See, actually NaCl is electrolyte. NaCl dissociates in the solution. See, actually we added 1 mole solute only. But how many particles of solute are present in the solution? 2 moles. It is due to dissociation. 1 mole NaCl gives 1 mole Na plus and 1 mole Cl minus. You dissolved only 1 mole of particles, but particles appear in the solution is 2 moles. Due to that, colligative property increases and we got molecular weight less than the normal molecular weight. Normal molecular weight is 58.5, but experimental results we got only 29.25 something. If assuming that 100% NaCl is dissociated. Is it clear? So, colligative properties most important application I told you before 1950 year. After 1950, mass spectra was discovered. But before mass spectra, molecular weights of solutes are determined by using colligative properties. Right? Now, to explain the abnormality in molecular weight and in colligative property, Van 't Hoff introduced a factor known as Van 't Hoff's factor I. Van 't Hoff factor I. Van't Hoff factor I. Okay. Now, if solute dissociates, number of particles of solute increase. If solute associates, so like that, for example, if molecule undergoes dimerization, like 2AlCl3 gives rise to Al2Cl6. So like this, if 2 mole particles associates to give 1 mole only, this is dimerization. If 3 moles of a compound form A3, this is called trimerization. 4 moles A4, this is called tetramerization. N moles A gives rise to AN, which means that polymerization. So during association, number of particles decrease. If number of particles decrease, then colligative property decrease, molecular weight increase. Right? Okay, let us see Van't Hoff factor I. He introduced to explain the abnormality in colligative property, abnormality in molecular weights. He introduced a factor which is known as Van't Hoff factor I, small I. Now, I is equal to number of particles present in solution after association or dissociation. By number of particles actually dissolved. Number of particles present in solution after association or dissociation by number of particles actually dissolved. Right? Now, according to Raoult's law, P0 minus Ps by P0, the relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of the solute. Now, any solute, either it dissociates or associates, then use this formula. Relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to I into XB. Elevation in boiling point is equal to Kb into molarity of the solution. If solute does not dissociate and does not associate, either associates or dissociates, then delta T be equal to I into Kb into M. This is 2. Similarly, delta Tf is equal to I into Kf into M. Molarity of the solution M. By osmotic pressure, concentration of the solution in terms of moles per liter, solution constant T, absolute temperature. If solute does not dissociate or associate, if associates or dissociates, then use pi equal to ICST. Right? Remember these equations. I am going to remove these. You note it down now. Right? Okay. Now, number of particles present in the solution number of particles present in the solution directly proportional to colligative property and inversely proportional to molecular weight. Just now we discussed 1 mole NaCl, 1 mole NaCl dissolved in 1 kg water. Actually, we should get delta TB equal to Kb, but we got delta TB equal to 2 Kb, right? So, delta TB equal to Kb. It should be Kb, but we got 2 Kb. So, as number of particles present in the solution increases, colligative property increases. See, 1 mole NaCl dissolved in 1 kg water, molecular weight from colligative property we should get 58.5, but we got 29.25. This is abnormal colligative property. So therefore, with the increase in particles, because 1 mole NaCl is dissolved, we got 2 mole particles. Particles are increased. Particles are increased. Colligative property increase and molecular weight decreases. So, number of particles present in the solution, colligative property increases, and with increase in particles in the solution, molecular weight decreases. Right? Now, if you want to note it. So, therefore, I can also be calculated by using colligative property. So, I is equal to abnormal colligative property or experimentally determined colligative property by normal colligative property, theoretical colligative property. Because see, in case of NaCl, we got abnormal colligative property 2 Kb. Delta TB, experimental determined colligative property. Delta TB, actual, theoretical. So delta TB must be Kb only, because delta TB equal to Kb into 1 mole. So, but we got 2 Kb, so which is equal to 2. See, NaCl 1 mole gives rise to Na plus plus Cl minus, right? So, 1 mole, 1 mole. Actually dissolved 1 mole, but particles in the solution are 2 mole. 2 mole by 1 mole. Is it not? Right. Number of particles present in the solution decreases, right? So therefore, 58.5 by 29.25, which is equal to 2. So therefore, I also can be calculated from, see, normal molecular weight, because colligative property is inversely proportional to molecular weight. Normal molecular weight theoretical molecular weight, or you can say actual molecular weight, by abnormal molecular weight, and this is obtained from the experiments. So therefore experimentally determined molecular weight. So Van 't Hoff factor can be calculated by using these three depending on the problem, right? Okay. Note it. Now see, AXBY. AXBY is a salt, is an electrolyte. It dissolves in water and dissociates. Let us suppose that its dissociation can be represented by X mole A charge Y plus. Next, Y mole B charge minus X. So let us suppose that AXBY is an electrolyte and it ionizes as A Y plus cation and B X minus anion. So according to formula, we will get X mole of A Y plus ions and Y mole of B X minus ions. Clear? Right. Now let us suppose that it is not 100% dissociated. Let us suppose that 1 mole is dissolved actually, and let us suppose that at equilibrium state, means final stage, right? Alpha moles only dissociated. Alpha only dissociated. For 1 mole, X moles, alpha moles only dissociated. So therefore, what is the degree of dissociation? Degree of dissociation is equal to number of moles dissociated by total number of moles. If 1 mole taken, 1 mole dissociated, therefore alpha value is 1. Right? So let us suppose that alpha moles were dissociated, therefore degree of dissociation is alpha. So for 1 mole we will get X moles. Now for alpha moles, how many we will get? X alpha moles we will get. For 1 mole salt, Y moles we will get anions. For alpha moles, how many we will get? Y alpha. Now, what are the total number of moles after dissociation? One minus alpha moles electrolyte plus X alpha cations, Y alpha anions. Right? Okay. Number of moles taken. One. Now, here N is equal to X plus Y. Now, total number of particles, cations and anions, right? So this is the relationship between degree of dissociation and Van 't Hoff factor. If degree of dissociation is known, you can calculate I. If I value is known, you can calculate alpha value, right? After that, you can apply any of these formula. If necessary, delta TB equal to IKB into M, delta TF equal to IKF into M, like that. Okay, depending on the question. So alpha equal to I minus 1 and by n minus 1. What is n? Total number of particles given by 1 mole of the electrolyte. See, for example, AXBY, actually it can produce on 100% dissociation X moles of A, Y plus Y mole of B, X minus. So 1 mole gives X mole A plus ions, A Y plus ions, and Y moles of B X minus ions. So that means 1 mole of electrolyte can produce X plus Y moles of ions in the solution. That is N moles of ions in the solution. Now, for example, NaCl, Na plus Cl minus. So, N is equal to 2 for NaCl, right? For Na2CO3, 2 Na plus CO3 2 minus, N equal to 3. For example, you take AlCl3, Al3 plus 3Cl minus, N equal to 4, right? Next, Al2SO4 thrice, Al3 plus 3 moles SO4 2 minus, N equal to 5. K4FeCN6. For this salt, 4 mole K plus FeCN6 4 minus. Therefore, for this salt N equal to 5. Clear? Note it. Now, for example, acetic acid CH3COOH in water solvent, it dissociates. So, for this, alpha equal to I minus 1 by number of particles obtained from 1 mole of the electrolyte is 2 minus 1. So, alpha equal to I minus 1. This is the relationship between DOD and Van 't Hoff factor. Suppose if the same acetic acid is dissolved in benzene, a non-polar solvent, then it undergoes dimerization. It undergoes dimerization. So that means it associates. See this, I think this we studied in chemical bonding topic. See, CH3, C double bond O, OH, CH3, C, OH, double bond O. So weak electrostatic force of attraction exists between oxygen of one molecule and hydrogen of other molecule. Due to this, acetic acid exists as a dimer. Okay, right. So if two particles combine and exist as single molecule, that is called dimerization. If three molecules combine to give and exist as single particle, it is called trimerization. If four particles exist as a single particle, then it is tetramerization. Like that, if large number of molecules combine and exist as a single particle, known as polymerization. Now, see n moles of A, for example, associate, combine together to give AN. If N is 2, it is called dimerization. N equal to 3, trimerization. N equal to 4, tetramerization. N is greater than 4, known as polymerization. Clear? Now, let us suppose that alpha dash is the degree of association of A. 1 moles 0 at equilibrium, alpha dash moles are associated. N moles will give 1 mole, alpha dash moles will give alpha dash by N. Clear? N moles will give 1 mole only. So alpha dash moles will give how many? Alpha dash by N. Is it not? Right. So at equilibrium 1 minus alpha dash left. Alpha dash by N moles are formed. Now total N total is equal to 1 minus alpha dash plus alpha dash by N, which is equal to 1 minus alpha dash 1 minus 1 by N, right? 1 minus alpha dash, minus into minus plus alpha dash by N, right? Next, I is equal to number of moles present after association by total number of moles. I think no need to explain these steps, right? Now alpha dash is equal to I minus 1 by n minus, sorry, 1 by n minus 1. I think you remember easily. For dissociation, alpha equal to I minus 1 by n minus 1. For association, alpha dash equal to I minus 1 by n minus 1. Right? Okay. Now it's Arabjan. A 0.01 molar aqueous solution of potassium ferricyanide freezes at minus 0.062 degrees Celsius. What is the apparent percentage of dissociation? Okay, Kf for water is 1.86. Now see, K3FeCN6 ionized as 3K plus FeCN6 4 minus. So 1 mole of this salt give 4 moles of ions in the solution. Now, percentage of dissociation we have to find out. Now see, delta TB is equal to delta TF is equal to I KF Yeah, right? Now, delta TF, water freezing point is 0. Solution freezing point minus 0.062. So, delta TF equal to TF naught minus TF. TF naught 0 minus 0.062 degrees Celsius. Therefore, 0.062, this is delta TF. I, KF value 1.86, molality of the solution 0.01. So, therefore, I equal to 0.062 by 1.86 into 0.01. So, this is equal to 6.2 by 1.86. Now, I alpha equal to I minus 1 by n minus 1. So, 6.2 by 1.86 minus 1 by number of moles 4 minus 1. So, 6.2 minus, sorry. So, 6.2 by 1.86 minus 1 by 3. So, simplify this, you will get some value here, and percentage of dissociation is equal to alpha into 100. You will get the answer. Answer given in the book is 77.77%. A solution containing 0.011 kg of barium nitrate in 0.1 kg of water boils at 100.46 degrees Celsius. Calculate the degree of ionization of the salt. Kb of water is given as 0.52 Kelvin kg per mole. Right? Now see, what is the weight of the solute given? 0.011 kg. Convert into grams, 11 grams. Barium nitrate in 0.1 kg of water boils at 100.46 degrees Celsius. Calculate the alpha of the salt. See here, delta TB is TB, boiling point of the solution, minus boiling point of the pure solvent. Boiling point 100.46 degrees Celsius minus 100, 0.46. This is delta TB. So delta TB is equal to IKB into M. Delta TB 0.46, I we don't know, KB 0.52, molarity of the solution. See here, molarity of the solution is weight of the solute 11 grams, molecular weight or formula weight, barium 137, nitrogen 28, 2 nitrogen atoms, and 3 oxygen atoms, 48 into 2, 96. So, (261) into 0.1 kg of water, 1000 by 100. So, M equal to 110 by 261. So, I is equal to 261 into 0.46 by 0.52 into 110. So, here you will get the value. Right? Now, alpha equal to I minus 1 by N minus 1. Barium nitrate ionized as Ba2 plus 2NO3 minus. So, N value is 3. So, therefore, say this is X value, X minus 1 by 3 minus 1, X minus 1 by 2. So, simplify this, you will get the answer, and the answer given in the book is 0.55. This is the answer. A 0.1 molar solution of potassium ferrocyanide K4FeCN6 is 46% dissociated at 18 degrees Celsius. What will be its osmotic pressure? What will be its osmotic pressure? Right? Now, pi equal to ICSP. So, we want to find out I value, then only we can calculate osmotic pressure. So, I value is equal to, alpha is equal to I minus 1 by N minus 1. Alpha is 46% means 0.46. I minus 1. For K4FeCN6, what is N value? K4FeCN6 ionized as 4K plus FeCN6 4 minus, right? So therefore N is equal to 5. So 5 minus 1 equal to 4. So I minus 1 equal to 0.46 into 4. 1.84. So I is equal to 2.84. This is Van Hoff factor value. So pi is equal to 2.84 concentration in terms of moles per liter. Solution constant. Temperature is 18 degrees Celsius means 273 plus 80. 291 Kelvin. So here you will get simplify this, you will get the answer, and the answer is 6.785 atmospheres. Simplify this.